The court determined that the culpability of Alan Thomas in causing the death of Mr. Bleasdelle was minimal, and that he did not go to the scene with a weapon. The court determined that Mr. Thomas, though responsible for the death of Mr. Bleasdelle, had provided sufficient evidence that his act was not premeditated. In other words, he did not intend to kill Mr. Bleasdelle, and that he reacted when he was choked. He was sentenced to 5 years and 11 months.
Attorney Jerry Edwin represented the manslaughter convict in the matter, which was originally before retired High Court Judge Madame Justice Victoria Charles Clark at the St. George's No. 2 High Court. However, the matter concluded before Justice Paula Guilford, who handed down the sentence to Thomas at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Monday. The 48-year-old, also known as Cabbage, was initially implicated on a non-capital murder charge following the stabbing death of 55-year-old Angus Bleasdelle, also known as Snackette, at a shop in the community of Thebaide just over 3 years ago. The charge was subsequently reduced after the Crown agreed that based on the facts of the case, the violent act was not one of premeditation. Thomas, who was 45 years old at the time of the incident, pleaded guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter in February. Attorney Edwin explained that his client and the deceased got into an argument over a fork and a spade that the victim claimed was in the possession of the now convicted man. According to the facts of the case, the now deceased man was seen angrily collaring the now convicted man outside the shop, who appeared calm at the time.
The facts are that the victim choked Alan Thomas, and Mr. Thomas reached for a knife that was nearby and inflicted a wound, a single deadly wound in the upper body, the chest area.
Edwin explained that his client was not aware that he had inflicted a fatal wound to a man he once called his friend and was shocked at the whole ordeal.
Mr. Thomas was not aware that the blow he had inflicted with the knife that he found on the counter in the shop had caused the death of Mr. Bleasdelle. The next day, when he was informed that Mr. Bleasdelle has died, he was shocked. But then he immediately went to the police station and gave a full-throated response when asked what happened.
Autopsy results revealed that the victim died because of hypovolemic shock. The court found no aggravating factors in this case. Attorney Edwin asked the court to exercise mercy for his client, who faced a maximum penalty of life imprisonment for the offense of manslaughter.
The court started with a sentence of 12 years. But then, because of his guilty plea, he was given 1/4 reduction. Because of his character, the court reduced it further. He had spent 3 years and about 25 days on remand at Her Majesty's prison. That time was deducted from the sentence so that it ultimately came down to 5 years and 11 months. And he has to receive counseling for alcohol abuse, anger management, during the time that he spends on Richmond Hill.